Okay, so this is the G4FON program, also known as the Koch trainer. That's Koch. Now, for learning the code, what you want to do is you want the characters sent at a higher speed. We usually standardize at 20 words per minute. For those of you who've passed out, don't worry, there's relief in sight. You won't be expected to copy 20 words per minute right off the bat. Here's how we do that. You'll notice that right here, you have the actual character speed. So let's say that we set that at 20 words per minute. If you started out like that, it would send everything at 20. But instead, what we do is we go to the effective code speed in words per minute. So that means that, oh yeah, the character is going to be at 20 words per minute, but we're going to set the total throughput at 5 words per minute. So in other words, you'll hear a burst of 20 and a long pause. A character at 20, a long pause. Another character at 20, a long pause. What the pause does is it allows your brain time to catch up and recognize what the character is and write it down. And I'll show you how that's done on paper, but one hint ahead of time. If you miss a character, just take your pen and make a dot on the paper. Don't even worry about it. It's gone, it's behind you. The reason being, and we've all experienced it, you're going through your copying, all of a sudden you miss one character. And so you spend the next 5 to 6 characters trying to figure out what you just missed. Don't do it. Condition yourself. If you don't know what it is, put a dot. The reason being is that most words you deal with, if it's missing 1 or even 2 letters, you'll know what it is. If the person says, my QTH, that's what's called a Q signal, it means my location is Cincinnati. If you're missing one of those letters, you can put it together where he lives. Okay? So let's go through that. We're setting this at 20 words per minute with a total effective speed of 5 words per minute. Now, usually for ham radio operations, you want to go to QSO. That's another Q signal. And what it stands for is a contact. You could say, I'm in QSO with Bob down the street. Okay, in Morse code, that means that I'm talking to him over the radio. So at any rate, QSOs, this is what these model what you would have in a normal ham radio communication. So here we go. See, there's your V saying, hey, I'm over here. That's just to get your attention in this training exercise. It's usually not used on the air. Oh gee, I missed that. I put a dot. DE means this is. Roger, Roger means he received it. Oh, gee, I missed that one. I put a dot. So obviously it runs 740 watts. Oh gee, I missed it. There's a dot. Oh. So clearly that was dipole antenna. You can also copy longhand, which is handy at higher speeds where block print is too slow. There we go. The letter V is sent in groups of 3 as an attention getter. It's the equivalent of, here I am. And in copying, BT, it's 2 dashes. BT, that's break. Message to follow. BT, end of message. AR, usually sent together, da-da-da-da-dit. Now, that may look silly, and it is, but that was actually a training message we used once. We had to distribute into an area where we wouldn't be welcome if we were caught, but not unfriendly, and send a message. Didn't matter what was in the message. So my guy on the other end, when he broke out the message, it was, your zipper is down. Big joke. But as you can see, copying code gives you a written text of your message. That can be very important. The most important question in your life someday might be, is it safe at the farm? Or can I come home? Or even a simple thing like, have arrived at camp, all safe, more later. And those are the fun messages, and those are the ones you'll probably remember for the rest of your life. I've sent lots of them. So, as you can see, when you hear it, you write it. A little hint, as the speed increases and you begin writing, often as this character is being sent here, you're just beginning to write this character. So I'll listen. Da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. That's called copying behind. At slow speeds like this, you generally are just starting to write the letter as the next letter is being sent. It's kind of a mental trick that allows your brain a little bit longer to process the code. Okay, this is SDR.HU. They have a selection of radio receivers located all over the world. Great way to practice your code. CQ, CQ. So if you don't have an HF radio to tune around and pick up ongoing conversations, or even if you do, you can use these SDR receivers. They're located all over the world. So here, this one is out of the state of Virginia. And unfortunately, of course, the signal we chose is a bit weak. But you notice it's easy, and you can actually tune that signal using your cursor. So just see that? You're actually tuning a receiver at the other end. And we were just listening to a ham radio operator calling CQ, which means anybody on the air, please answer. DE, meaning this is my call sign, and then his call sign. So if your call sign was W1ABC, you would be sending CQ, CQ, this is W1ABC. So remember, you have SDR, that is software-defined receivers all over the world that you can tune into. This will be a great way for you to practice. It's always more interesting when you know there's a human being on the other side of the link. And frankly, the next step up from this is getting on the air with a friend or somebody through AmRRON and all of that, and being able to communicate with each other using Morse code. Please listen to the next part. This is important. Your most progress will come when you begin using Morse conversationally. I don't care if it's 2 words per minute. Your speed and your accuracy will increase when you're actually using it in conversation. Makes sense. That's how we learn a new word. We use it in conversation. So there we go. We've tuned into another signal here. He's a little bit choppy in his sending, but perfectly understandable. So there we've done it. We've given you a couple of tools, what it looks like when you're copying and practicing. Remember, you sit down, you listen to the code, and you write it down. Remember, hear the character, write the character. You're building reflexes. And I think that wraps it up. This is Popeye. We're going to have more of these videos coming along. And if you absolutely hate me doing videos, I don't want to hear it in plain speech, send it to me in Morse code.